Dave, thanks so much for taking the time to chat to us ahead of MPE. I obviously got to meet you and chat to you at Money 2020 back in 2022.
Right.
But of course, you're going to be back on our C-Suite podcast very soon because you've just recorded an episode of our new Pay It Forward series with my colleague Graham Barrett. So looking forward to hearing that. But today, you're joining us in your capacity as a member of MPE's advisory board. So,
Yes.
so let's start there because one only has to take a look at your LinkedIn profile to see just how many roles you play within the industry. There was quite a few there. What made you take on yet another one with MPE?
Well, I've been the MC of MPE for a few years now, and it's turned into. I mean, all credit to Philip and his team. It's turned into one of the key conferences in the calendar now, and I think for certainly, for the European payments industry, it's a must attend event. So I'm very flattered to be asked for one final year to be the MC again. So yeah, and I love being part of the committee. Philip is good at driving us on and looking for new things every year. Where are we going? What's new? What's happening? Um, yeah, it's frankly really enjoyable.
Brilliant. Well, let's find out a little bit more detail about the conference because this is actually the first time that we're going to be there recording the podcast. So yeah, what can we expect?
Well, I mean, it's grown to take over the whole of the Intercontinental in Berlin now. I mean, the whole thing works so well. They have a terrific layout of the show floor. They have a terrific layout of the conference rooms and meeting rooms. It's convenient. You meet everybody. I particularly, they have a very big breakfast area. I love going down for breakfast in the morning and just meeting everyone and catching up with everyone. So it's just got a great atmosphere to it. You'll love it.
Excellent. And what do you see as the key trends that are going to be discussed there?
There's quite a few, I think, this year because obviously, if you look at mind share, I mean, AI dominates mind share, on the technology side and turning that into business. And of course, there are some new frontiers being explored there because AI to AI payments, AI is making payments on behalf of people. I mean, this sort of uncharted territory, really interesting sort of stuff. There's the kind of unavoidable regulatory envelope that we all live in, and for people like me, it's important to keep up to speed with what's happening there. So I'll be going to a few of those sessions. There's the transition from open banking towards open finance and what that can kind of mean with embedded and how that leads into apps, and that takes us into wallets. And obviously, because of the European digital identity wallet and various other things, wallets are a big focus as well. You've got the um, consolidation and restructuring of parts of the industry. I mean, this happens every year. You think you're not going to see any more of this but every year you see more. There's also some things sort of floating around the edges, I think. We see interesting new opportunities arising. I mean, I don't want to bore people senseless with the metaverse again because I'm obsessed with it, even if nobody else is. But you know, Facebook have sold a lot of those glasses with AI in them, and linking wearables and this kind of stuff. You can see it all beginning to come together to create sort of a new infrastructure for payments, which is really rather interesting. Then you've got the actual pay if without all the technology and industry structures, then you've got the payments themselves. What's going on with account to account, what's going on with stable coins. It's these kind of things are just, I don't know, the whole thing is so interesting.
It's going to be really difficult to choose which streams because there's lots of streams going on at the same time,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, there's
So
really a lot to cover at the event.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, incredible. Now I looked through the agenda, and I mean, obviously you're chairing the event, but I counted six sessions that you're involved in directly as well. Can you give us any sneak previews of what you're going to be sharing with us at the event?
Well, there's yes, it is 6, isn't it? Well, there's the introduction. I mean, it's not really a session. I'll be doing the introduction to the conference and bringing people up on stage for that first panel discussion, which last year we switched down things around a bit to begin with a nice open panel discussion to get people kind of leaning in before we went into the first keynotes. That worked rather well, so we're doing that again this year. So introductory discussion. It's not really about me. It's getting other people to look at the themes. And I love doing the closing sessions. Well, the way they do it at the event there, they have a closing wrap up session, which is just get some interesting people up on stage and just have a chat about what everyone's seen at the conference. I love doing that as well. It's a real hardcore audience for that. The people that stay to the end are the people that really want to learn. So I love all that. In terms of the actual sessions I'm involved in, I mentioned the European Digital Identity Wallet. I want to know exactly what's going on there and make sure I understand all of the key trends in that space. I'm in a session about embedded payments, and obviously because I think that we've talked for many years about how payments are steadily becoming invisible and coming inside the experience. I'm curious then. I'm in the wallet session because everyone knows wallets are the next big thing. And this whole thing about smart wallets, wallets that are controlled by AIs or have AI in them, is just trying to work out the implications of that is so interesting for merchants and regulators. And then the session on innovation, which of course particularly appeals to me because I always want to know what's the I don't care whether it's ultra wideband or quantum computing or clouds and blockchains and the other things that we used to be interested in. But I want to see how we're going to use those in the payments industry. So I love the innovation session as well. So yeah, this year there's a really wide spread of stuff. Yeah.
Great. It really is a great speaker lineup. We're hoping to interview quite a number of them on Ecompay's booth when we're there. I was just wondering how involved the advisory board is in pulling that agenda together, and what are you looking for in particular from those speakers?
Well, actually, I mean, the agenda setting process started a long time ago.
Okay,
It starts a couple of months after the last event. And I think there's sort of two parts to it, really. So one is obviously it's a commercial conference, so you have to have an agenda that people will find appealing and interesting and will want to come and join in. But also you kind of want to move it on and change it every year, And some of the experiments that were done last year, starting to have the tables for the open discussions and this kind of thing, learning from that, feeding back from it, and moving it on and developing it. That all takes a bit of time, and then it's probably not obvious from just glancing at the agenda, but the agenda is quite structured in terms of following certain themes through, from keynotes to sessions to discussions and so on. So there's quite a lot of work goes into actually setting that out. It starts a long time ago.
great. Well, show starts on Tuesday, 18th of March.
Yeah.
So still a bit of time for our audience to get their tickets to the event. If they want to do that, where do they need to go for more information?
Merchantpaymentecosystems.com. So yeah, you can put the link in the
Yeah,
podcast, right?
we
So
will do that indeed. Listen, really looking forward to catching up with you in Berlin. But for now, David Birch, thank you so much for joining us.
great stuff. I'll see you there.
Cheers.